Okay, so let us have a bar made up of two different materials. So this is one material and this is some another material. One is say made up of brass and this second one is made up of steel. Okay, so this will be an example of composite bar while this surface is being fixed to each other. Now, if they were free, suppose they are free, they are not attached. Okay, let me draw the situation. They are not attached. We are assuming that they are not attached. Now, this is brass, this is steel. If we increase the temperature by capital T amount, then the material who is having higher value of alpha, which is in this case is on brass, alpha brass is greater than alpha steel, coefficient of expansion. Now in this case, for the same temperature difference, this brass will have more extension than steel. Brass will have more extension than steel, but this is the case when they are expanding freely. Now as because they are pasted together, maybe welded, maybe braced, maybe fastened by bolt and nuts, by rivets. However, they are fixed. In this case, this different extension cannot happen. So in this case, they will increase, their length will be increased by same amount, and as a result this brush will try to pull this steel bar from here to here, because brass is getting increased from here to here. This will also try to increase the length of the steel from here to here. So in this case, if we increase the temperature by T amount, then this steel rod will face tensile stress due to temperature increase induced by brass. Okay, is this line clear? As because brass is having more extension than steel and they are pasted together just like this, so that's why this brass will try to elongate the steel bar. Give me a reply on the chat. Is this line clear? Why steel will face tensile load or tensile stress? Okay, so now think for this brass rod. This brass rod will try to increase up to this much amount, but the steel will not let it touch up to this much amount. So the steel bar is getting only up to this much, so it will pull this brass down. As a result, this brass rod will face compressive stress due to temperature change induced by steel rod. Okay, so the component or the material which is having lower thermal expansion, that will face tensile stress. The material which is having higher coefficient of expansion upon temperature increase, it will face compressive load due to the other material. Now in this case, what will be the equations? How to find out these equations? We will assume the required parameters like the cross section area, cross section area is A, B in suffix means cross section in brass rod, sigma B is stress on brass rod, this is compressive, this epsilon B is strain in brass rod, okay. Alpha B is the coefficient of expansion of brass, this EB elastic modulus of brass, and similarly the same thing with S suffix means therefore steel. Now as we can see in this figure, finally these two bars will reach up to a certain value which is bigger than this expansion of steel rod. So this is the length of steel rod, this is the change in LS plus DLS. So this much has been happened because of the tensile rod forced by brass. This is the length, LS is the original length or previous length before the temperature change. After temperature change it becomes LS plus DLS, well DLS is the change of expansion of rod due to temperature increase. Now this much had been increased due to the tensile stress on this steel rod by this brass bar, sorry, this much is the original length before temperature change plus change in length due to temperature change. So after temperature change the length of steel rod is up to this much. Now this much has been changed due to tensile load induced by brass rod. Similarly, if the brass would have been expanded freely, it would have gone up to this much. In this sketch, in this case, this would have been happen, but this could not happen because the steel did not let this brass increase up to this free expansion. So this is decreased by this much, and this is the final length. So if the brass would have been expanded freely, it could have been reached up to this point, but because there is steel attached and steel cannot increase after this point, so it pulls down the brass, and finally this is the length we have found out. So so as a result, what has happened, steel have been increased this much more and brass has been decreased by this much. If there was no steel attached, this brass would have been increased up to this much, but because of the steel producing the compressive load on the brass, it has been increased up to this much. So initial length was up to this much. So from L, due to temperature change, this has been finally reached by L plus delta. So is the scenario clear? Finally, so before temperature change, it was L. Free expansion of brass, it will be LB plus, or say both case it was L, so let it be L. Free expansion of brass is how much? This much. So final length is L plus DLB, but this has not happened. What happened is actual increase is delta amount. So actual final length is L plus delta for both of the bars. So if it was free expansion, it would have been L plus DLB, but these have not happened due to the compressive load induced by steel, and what happened is L plus delta, which is lesser than this. This is the free expansion length, this is the actual expansion length. So actual expansion is lesser than the free expansion because there is steel attached. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, now we will talk about steel. Now we will talk about steel. So if we look at the steel, initial length is L. After free expansion, the length would have been L plus DLS, but due to the tensile load induced by brass, the actual expansion or actual expansion is equal to actual expansion in brass, which is delta, because they are attached. So this is delta. So actual final length is how much? L plus delta, where this L plus delta LS is lesser than L plus delta. So L plus delta is bigger one. Why bigger? Because this much is being increased due to the tensile load induced by this brass rod. Now this is the scenario, and we will now form the equation. So whenever we form the equation, we look for equilibrium conditions, as there is tensile load on steel rod and compressive load on brass rod, and because of this load they are in equilibrium. That means the tensile force that is working on steel rod will be supported by the compressive load on brass rod. So we can write load means stress into area. So stress on brass rod into area of brass will be equal to stress in steel rod into area of steel. This is our first condition. Compressive load on steel bar is equal to tensile load sorry, compressive load on brass is equal to tensile load on steel. Compressive load on brass is equal to tensile load on steel. Okay, is the point clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now we go to our next condition. What is our next condition? The expansion is equal for both the bars. Actual expansion is delta for both the bars. That is the condition. Actual expansion is delta for both the bars. This is our second condition. Now, so finally, what is delta? The actual expansion. Now we know that the actual expansion of steel bar, okay, that is equal to free expansion of steel bar plus expansion due to tensile load induced by brass. Okay, is the point clear? So free expansion of steel bar, if the steel would have been increased freely, then what will be the expansion of steel bar? Alpha of steel into temperature change or increase into original length. This is the free expansion length of steel bar. If the steel bar would have been expanded freely without any other attachment, then the expansion would have been this. But there is brass which is trying to expand the steel more, and that causing stress on the steel bar. So that stress is sigma s. So the expansion can be written, or the change in length can be written as strain into original length. So that can be written strain into original length, that is the expansion. So that can be written again plus strain is stress by E, stress on steel rod is sigma s by elastic modulus Es into L. So this is the actual expansion, which is equal to delta. This is for steel rod. Similarly, if we look for brass rod, the actual extension of brass rod, that will be equal to free extension of brass. Now look at the figure again. This L was the brass. If it had been increased freely, it would have been gone up to this much, but it could not reach up to this much because there is a compressive load due to this steel bar. So finally it reached up to delta. So this much is decreased due to stress induced by steel. So this much is the decrease due to stress induced by steel. So we can write here free expansion of brass rod minus contraction due to compressive stress induced by steel. So finally we can write free expansion of brass is alpha B into T and L minus contraction means a change in length. So just like this we will write sigma B by EB into L, where this will be minus sign because it is happening contraction. Now this is also delta. So now we can equate this equation and this equation. So that will be our the second condition. So sigma S T L plus sigma S by ES into L will be equal to sigma B into T into L minus sigma B by EB into L. So this equating these two things, these two quantity, we get our second condition. So first condition is this one, and second condition is this one. With help of these two conditions we can solve these problems. Okay, we have to solve a lot of problems in your home. Whatever book you have, any soft copy of the book you have, you go through solved problems, as because we have to complete the syllabus by third week of May, and it is very difficult to solve much problems in class, and in between there will be a internal test also very soon. So it is very difficult for solving problems on the topics, but these are the only equations with which you can solve these problems. So whatever book you have, whatever soft copy of the book you have, you must go through them, look for the problems and try to solve at least 4 or 5 problems from each chapter, so that you can be able to solve problems in exam. Now if you don't have any book, if you don't have materials, you contact me, and whatever I have I will send it to you. Okay, no, so any questions on this topic?
Hello, sir. Hello.
Avrunil, you are saying something, please.
Yes, sir. So, in real life scenarios, since the two rods are braced or welded side by side,
Hmm.
when one is giving a tensile force and another is pulling it up,
Hmm.
so will there be any deformation in the shape of the rod from outside or
That
from
might
the inside?
that might happen. It can bend. It can bend. Um, it depends on the scenario. If it is supported by both sides, then it will not bend. Then only the length
Yes.
will change. But if there is no support on the sides, then it may bend.
So, we do not consider that in the problem.
Now, in this type of problem, we do not consider it,
Okay, sir.
because they are joint. We are assuming that it has only way with whether to increase or decrease. If
Okay, sir.
it may bend, then it will be given, and the problem will changed into other type of problem. That will be bending stress problem.
Yes, sir.
And it also depends on how we are attaching these two bars. If it is properly composite, then only length will be increased or decreased. Now if they are not properly attached, properly braced to each other, then there will be problem, and even cracks may occur also. See, whatever we are discussing in theories, that are having assumptions that everything is all right, but in practical, this never happens. So always some deflection occurs from the theories. So on experience of the engineers, on that particular project, they understand this may happen, so they take proper precautions, and this is how all the projects are being done. But no project is so accurate. We take a range. Okay, if it bends up to this much, then it will work. Whatever bridge you produce, whatever column you produce, that is not 100% vertical or 100% proper. It cannot be achieved, but there are some tolerance limits. So if there is loading and if the bridge bends by up to this much degree, then it is under safe limit, so we can adjust with it. This is the way people used to make all the things. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So now we will go on to our next topic. And very soon you are going to have your internal one. So please study. And this subject is not very easy. Once you go through, then once you understand, then it will become easy. But until you are understanding it properly, this is not an easy one. So please study every day, regularly, because this is not a subject what you can just study before night of the exam and you can pass. It is not that type of subject. Most of the subjects are so, I know that, but this is a very very critical subject. Now one more thing I would like to add, that in section B there are some other classes taken by our other teachers. Now you must contact your friends on the other section students and find out what are the problems they are solving. Okay, because the questions are made for all the teachers. There are 4 teachers in this subject, engaged with this subject. Now all these 4 teachers together make the question paper, and the moderator comes and selects some from my portion, some from other teacher's portion. Okay, so the question may come from any point, so you must make sure that you are getting the problems that has been done on the other teacher's class. It will be helpful. You will be able to solve it. You do not need the solutions, but get the questions and solve it by yourself. The questions difficulty will be similar, but still it is better if you gather information about the other sections. Okay. Now we will talk about elongation of a bar due to its own weight. Okay. Elongation of a bar due to its own weight. Suppose there is a bar which is hung from the wall. Sorry, not wall, from the roof vertically. Okay, it is having length L and say cross section is A. So L is length of bar, A is area of cross section, E is elastic modulus, and this small w is the weight per unit volume. or specific weight. Now, in this case, we have to find out the elongation of the bar due to its own weight. So, we will take a very small strip of thickness dx at a distance of x from the bottom. Okay, so we will consider a strip of thickness dx at a distance of x from the bottom. Now, if we consider the weight distribution, then we can find, consider this strip, this strip is under loading. Which loading? The weight of length x. So this much length having some weight, and that weight is the loading for this strip dx. Is the point clear? So the
Yes, sir.
load on strip of thickness dx is equal to weight of length x. Okay, so now if this load is taken as P, which is working on dx, then this load P will be how much? Weight of unit volume into weight of this length, into volume of length x. So A is the cross section, A into x is the volume into specific weight gives us the load which is working on this strip. Now, the stress on the element, when we know the load, then the stress sigma on this strip will be equal to this load P by area. So W into A into X by A. A will be cancelled out. So it will become W into X. That will be the stress. So the strain in element stress is known. Strain we can find out is stress by E. Stress by E. So we can get Wx by E. So this is the strain. Now the elongation of strip of length dx will be how much? Strain into original length, strain into length. So strain is W into X by E into length dx. So this is the elongation of this strip. So if this is the elongation of this length dx, then if we want to find out the elongation for this total bar, then we have to integrate this value on a range from 0 to L. So elongation of total bar is equal to, then we have to integrate the value on a limit 0 to L. So upon integration, we can see W by U will come out x dx, it will be x square by 2. W by E, it will be x square by 2, 0 to L is the limit. So finally putting the value, we get WL square by 2E. Now if we rewrite the equation as such, W into A into L by A into 2E. What we have done, we have broken up this L square by L into L, and we have multiplied A in denominator and numerator. Okay, so this WAL, this is the total weight of the bar. So we can write it capital W by L, W into L by 2 AE, where this capital W is the total weight of the bar now. So it becomes WL by 2 AE. Now look carefully, we have learned that if there is a bar having a load, external load W only, we are not considering its own weight, we are considering an external load equal to its own weight. So if the condition is such that this bar is assumed as weightless and another external load is working like this, then the extension would have been WL by AE. If this same load of W is applied externally, then the extension is WL by AE. When we are considering its own weight, not any external load, then the elongation is half. So this is the value, you should remember, this is due to own weight, and this is the value when the load is external and equal to its weight. Here the own weight is negligible, own weight is not considered. Here there is no external load, own weight is considered. When there are two different situations, it has its own weight plus external load, then both the elongations will be added up. Okay, so is the scenario clear? How we get WL by 2 AE due to own weight? This is 10:46. We do not have time for starting new topic. Do you have any questions? If you have any issues or repetitions, you can ask me. Okay, so I assume there is no question. Please prepare for your internal. Probably you know that currently internals for third year and fourth year is going on, and very soon internal for first year and second year will begin. So prepare for the exam. Okay, then we will stop here today.